for a touchdown.
Would you look at that? Evergreen. Would you look at that? Suarez there.
Cool with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. Hey, we want to welcome you guys here to McKenzie Stadium here for the second half of Friday Night Football, playoff football down here, Week 10 for high school football. We've got the Mountain View Thunder going against the Ballard Beavers down here tonight. This game was one of the games to find out how you're going to get seated here for the next week. So we've got 32 games going on this weekend in the 3A division. Looking for 16 slots that will be put to the test and discussed and talked about over cookies and donuts and coffee Sunday afternoon to find out where you're ultimately going to go. So my name's Rod Lawrence. We've got Ryan Vassbinder. This is EPS Sports. Like I said, McKenzie Stadium, Vancouver, Washington. Ballard comes down from the Seattle area to come out here and make an effort at knocking Mountain View off their pedestal. I tell you what, right now in all polls across Washington State, even the Associated Press and Max Prep, Mountain View has been listed in the top 5 of one of the best teams or programs out here in Washington. And I tell you what, Ryan, this is a fun and exciting team to watch.
They certainly are. I mean, this is a team, aside from their loss to Union in Week 1, which they lost only by 3 points, they're scoring 50 a game.
They sure are. And we will start with the kickoff. And he was going to get ran into the end zone, so he's going to bring that one back out. He's going to be stuck right there, and he's going to make it to about the 7 or 8 yard line before he stopped. Zed Webster was the carrier there. Webster also a starting running back for the Beavers. Quarterback for the Beavers tonight is going to be Ryan Blocker, sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds. So starting a very young quarterback tonight. The Beavers come from the South Division Metro League. We're going to start with 5 wide. Blocker looking for someplace to go, decides he's going to have to keep that one himself, but the ball bounces off the ground, and we're going to say the referees are going to say that he is already down and on the ground. So no turnover there. But I tell you what, that was pretty interesting how Blocker decided to bring that ball down and go ahead and take off.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it definitely put a statement on the opening drive of this football game of how they're going to handle things.
Yeah, it sure did. This time a nice little handoff. Zeb Webster now is going to get a nice little run. He's going to get down to about the 23-yard line, bring up 3rd down and short situation. Gulliford there to make the tackle. I'm sure everybody knows down here in Clark County that he did make the Defensive Player of the Year. Well given award to that young man. We got to see a lot of games, and he was involved in a whole lot of tackling in just about every game we broadcast this season. We got a guy down there is Rodolfo Martel, who also offensively is their tight end, and he is also a big part of their defense and one of the reasons why their defense has been so successful. You know, just to talk about last week, and here is the run here. And we can kind of see there is Mertel. Kind of see where he goes down and possibly gets hurt. I don't know. Somebody may have just had a bunch of people roll over on his ankle, so maybe that was kind of what happened. But it looks like he is going to get up and walk off on his own. Ian Crocker actually was handling the running responsibilities on that. Hey, we want to thank you guys up there in the Seattle area and the Ballard area for joining in on the stream on the YouTube channel. And join us down here to watch this game between Mountain View and your Ballard Beavers. Blocker now drops back. He gets that out, and there's going to be an interception.
A single-handed
The linebacker out there pumps his hand up there just essentially to knock that one down, but is able to bring it in for the interception and a big turnover there down inside the red zone.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 50, Andrew Remlinger.
Yes, you said that's a mouthful.
Yeah, he just stuck his hand up and tipped it to himself, and he was able to bring it in.
There you go. So right away, we've got the Mountain View offense on the thing. Jack Mertens, the big runner that everybody's excited about watching this young man run. Nice stiff arm for the touchdown. So right now, Mountain View is on top of this, 6-0 on the run by Jack Mertens. We have talked about Jack Mertens all season long. We have had the opportunity to see this young man play football all season long, and his ability to find the open space and make the difference is why this team, one of the reasons why this team is a top 5. And I tell you what, just the athletic ability we just saw on that instant replay for that young man to hold on to that ball, even being pushed around by a lineman, to still bring that in. Wow, a lot just happened in the first minute and a half of this game. And we are going to get the extra point, and everything is going to be good. And that is going to put Mountain View up on the big turnover, 7-0 over the Ballard Beavers. Wow. Here's the replay.
Here's the replay of Martin's run, and he's just able to get outside and stay behind his blockers. And, you know, he was able to go ahead and get away with the shirt tug and just find his way into the end zone.
He sure does.
And that's how Jack Martin's runs the football.
Yeah, it does.
He puts his legs to the ground and he just goes.
Yeah. I was talking to one of the coaches for Mountain View, a young man who used to play for the Thunder years ago, and we kind of got into a conversation about Mr. Mertens, and he just said he is a football guy. He's a locker room guy. He just wants to win. He's going to play hard, and you know, it's just infectious to the rest of the squad out there, and we just kind of see what kind of football player he is. And he wasn't even initially going to even come out and play football. It was something that he was asked to do late in life, and just come out here and decided that he was going to make a difference. So great story.
After one offensive play for Mountain View as Jack Mertens rushed in from 18 yards out down the right sideline. Justin Quant is set to tee it up for the Mountain View Thunder. 10:42.
So Ballard was going to get back on the field.
Is deep to receive, and that's the statement you want to make. Take off the opposition and let's score next play.
Yeah, because if you're favored, you know, you have to show why you're favored, right? You got to come in.
And there we go. We have got a kickoff. This time it's going to make it into the end zone. And Ballard is going to take the ball over on their own 20.
Right away, you want to, hit him in the mouth as quick as you can. Put this game
You know, and Mountain View comes into this game with something to prove. You know, they're definitely seated in the top 5 of all the polls.
Yeah.
But they want to be number 1.
Yeah,
and
they
they
do.
want to show the committee that meets on Sunday why they're number 1. And so far they come out and they get an interception and they punch in a touchdown. And I don't see them letting up anytime soon.
No, I don't see it either. You know, one interesting note here is that just to give you an idea what Ballard's up against, Ballard lost to Juanita in week 1, 21-17. Mountain View beat Juanita in week 2, 54-7. So that just kind of lets you know what Ballard's kind of up against here. This time we have pistol formation. We're going to send a man in motion. They're going to hand this ball off to the running back, and he is going to get hit right now. Pinball machine status there, just goes down on a nice, tough run. And that is going to be Dejon Wells, who is going to get 3 yards the hard way.
fill the gap if he needs to, right? Some players, you might have the size, might have the skill. Nobody likes to be hit. I'm just going to
Number 8, George Blue, the man right there they sent in motion on that. Dejon Wells now is the running back in the game. They've got 3 receivers up top. Block's going to roll out, picking up some blocks. He decided he's going to bring this one down himself and is get as much as he can before he gets out of bounds, running out about the 28.
Yeah, it looks like there is a flag down on the play. We'll see what the officials come up with here. That was a great little run by the sophomore Ryan Blocker to start things off.
Picked up a good block there by Dejon Wells to help him get around to the outside. So we'll kind of see. And we've got a defensive hold against Mountain View, which is going to move the Ballard Beavers further down the field.
These things are slick, man. I might have to, I don't know, man. It's been a little bit since I've played, but I think I could go down there and maybe throw it on. I don't know how good I do.
you're still in the prime of your life, man. We'll see what this penalty is all about as we get a holding.
So we've got a defensive holding there on Mountain View that's going to move Ballard up 10 yards up the field, reset the chains at the 38-yard line, and give him a new set of downs.
Second and 8 is now 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Beavers, looking to answer the call.
Dejon Wells, the running back.
Easily drove down the field and put up a quick 7 spot. It is 7-0 the Thunder. Here's the snap.
Going to hand this off to Dejon, too. He's trying to find some light. He is not going to find anything. They'll give him back to the line of scrimmage if he's lucky.
His legs and a defensive player from Mountain View actually came out with the ball, ran the other.
Mountain View's defense playing very aggressive now, right now, taking the ball away from the running back.
That was number 28, Bobby Shepard, a reserve linebacker, 5'6" senior, and he wanted to go the other way.
Yeah, they'll teach you that. You know, they teach every kid that. Just because you never know. Sometimes refs miss the call. Like, hey man, sometimes they give you the points for that.
All right, so we're going to line up in 3 receivers down here at the bottom. Dejon Wells lined up on the left side of the quarterback. Nice little quick slant route is going to be connected. Receiver on that is Ian Crocker. Makes a nice catch right there at the 48-yard line. We'll see, based on the spot, we'll see if they're going to move him. And it looks like they're going to get him right under there. So looks like we're going to look at 3rd down and inches.
Yeah, that was a great little catch. Just came a little short of the 3rd down. Here's the replay. You see Blocker release it up through the middle.
Wait for him to step up
Ian
in there
Crocker.
and make that catch. Caught that right in front of the safety.
And Crocker made a great play.
Makai Anderson there to try to make the stop. This time, they're going to give that ball to Crocker again, and Crocker is going to push it into the Mountain View territory and move those chains.
A good thing to think about, at least for Ballard, is you want to stay on the field as long as you can and try to tire out this Mountain defense. Just because later on
So here we go. Ballard moving the ball up the field.
you can tire out the defense and really wear and tear on them. Eventually late in the game,
Wells back at running back.
1st and 10 from the Mountain.
They're going to take the snap. They're going to fake it to Wells on a play action. They have got Crocker open. He is going to make the catch and the touchdown. A 50-yard catch there for the Ballard Beavers by Ian Crocker as he gets behind the safeties on a play action. Great job there by the young quarterback Blocker for the 6 points. I do not see any penalty flags on the field, so this is going to be a legit 6 points.
It will, and that Blocker-Crocker connection tonight is really real.
I like how you said that. Blocker Crocker, you're a poet.
I won't quit my day job.
Yeah, right.
But it was a great pass. Found Crocker down the side, wide open, and we've got ourselves a game.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Zahner there is for the kick. And we got a high snap. He's going to try to bring this one down. And, that always haunts you. You kind of think, but I tell you what, when you get down to the 4th quarter and the game's close, you're going to wish that you had made that.
Absolutely. I mean, here's the replay of that touchdown pass. Blocker fakes the handoff, and Crocker's just extending the lead on the safety there. He had 2 or 3 yards of space when he caught that football.
He sure
and nobody
did.
was going to catch him.
Jordan Cook was the defender on that play, and that play action, I think, froze him just long enough for Crocker to get by him. So 8:18 left, and we've already got 2 scores.
We do, and going back to that missed extra point.
Yeah.
We've seen games locally where that missed extra point has made the difference coming down to the wire.
Yeah, it sure has. It sure has. I'm going to give some credit to the other teams in the 3A of Greater St. Helens. Kelso traveled to Rainier Beach. And we'll get to what Prairie, if Prairie is actually traveling this evening, or actually tomorrow they're going to play their game. So we'll find out exactly where that's going to be here and let you guys know. But those are the 3 teams out of the Greater St. Helens that are trying to make their way into the tournament championship. So then there's the kick. It's going to kick it straight to the man on the 20-yard line. It's a lineman who is actually going to get this ball and do a decent job. He's going to get tripped up at the last minute. The left guard, he was generally out there for blocking situations, gets the ball kicked to him and decides he is just going to go ahead and take over the responsibilities and handle that. All right. So Mountain View now will take the ball over on their own 37-yard line. This time Mullins decides to keep it.
Play action, they keep it up the middle, and he is drilled by number 22,
Devin Thibodeau there to make the stop. Moen on the kind of the read option play out of the wing position with Jack Mertens. Keeps this one and is going to get about 3 yards out of it and bring up second down. All right, we got stacked receivers to the far. They got Mertens. He's going to grab that ball. He's going to get it, lower that shoulder, and it looks like the officials are going to give him to the 48-yard line. That'll be enough to move the chains. And we've got a penalty flag, and we got a holding call against the against Mountain View Thunder. That's going to back them up 10. From, it looks like the flag's laying on the 45-yard line. So it looks like they'll back them up 10 from there, bring up about a 2nd and 12. So nice little catch and run there by Jack Mertens is going to be negated by a holding penalty, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 12.
All right, so we got 2nd and 12 from the 35. No one under center in this wing T look.
Moen now, he's going to hand this ball off. And the running back's going to get upended after he gets about a yard. And that's going to be Trayshawn Foreman. So 3rd and 9 situation. We'll see what they've got set up. They bring out two receivers out here at the bottom of your screen. One on the seam there. Owen drops back. He's got a big rush coming. He's got Mertens open in the middle of the field, and he is going to make the catch. Big job there by Jack Mertens. He's going to get down to the 43-yard line for the big first down.
Jack Mertens is such an athlete.
Yeah, he sure is.
I mean, the way he can run the ball, but then he goes up and he makes the big catch as well. He's something to reckon with.
Yeah, he sure is. Isaiah Johnson now lined up as the wing, number 23. We're going to give this to Jack. Finding the open space in the field is Jack, and he's going to get down across the 40-yard line. And here is that replay. Mertens came out of the wing position on the field. So if you know anything about football a little bit, the wing's kind of lined up like a tight end, which makes a linebacker have to match up with him. And you put a linebacker on Jack Mertens, the linebacker's going to lose every single time.
You're going to win this game 3rd and long is kind of the position long out.
It's a good way to not let Mertens get going either. Just try to force him back.
So 3 yards on that one. We got another open man open, and that's going to be Isaiah Johnson, who makes the man miss, and he is going to get brought down inside the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10. One of the many explosive weapons on this team.
Webster there to make the tackle, to prevent the touchdown, but a nice pass play there from Moen to Johnson. Micah Anderson now in the field. On the field out there as well in the 3-receiver set is Michael Bolds. Moen now drops back, looking for somebody open. He has got a receiver out there in the corner. He makes the catch almost there. The intended receiver on that one was Jordan Cook.
You know, in the last game we talked about how how deep Union is in their offensive weapons, and Mountain View's the same way.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys. They've got a lot of guys
that can make big plays
Yeah.
in big moments.
Sure can.
And they're showing that tonight so
Yeah.
far.
Cook comes out of the game. Jack Mertens comes back in. Mertens is actually in the running back position. Going to kind of rip this one out. Mertens puts his foot in the dirt and gets up the field right now. It looks like he's going to get to the 5-yard line before he stopped. That'll bring up second and goal, third down and goal. I'm sorry.
He is going to be everywhere.
From the 5-yard line, that was an option type play. Bowles is going to come out of the game. He's going to be replaced
You have to play assignment football and really cover your
by Foreman. So Foreman lines up in the fullback position. You got Johnson at wing. They're going to give it to Mertens. Mertens is going to go down at about the 2-yard line. He's going to get go down, roll to the 1, and go and get credit for that. And that'll bring up now 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line.
They're going to go for it for sure.
Number 75, Preston Collins, is the right tackle. He goes 6'5", 285. And at least from the naked eye, he is the biggest player out on the field. We've got Skylar Lubin at 5'10", 235, and Pete Lubin, 6'1", 245 on the D-line. But here
Mountain
we
View
go.
steps up. They're going to hand this off to Jack again. Jack's going to reach for it, and he is going to get it. Big 6 points there for Jack Mertens as he blasts his way through the lineup to get that touchdown.
And this kid came ready to play today.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He is so explosive off the line, and he's able. I mean, he's so powerful. He just keeps moving.
Yeah, he sure does. He sure does. That's going to put 13 on the board now.
I don't know if he has any offers. I hope he follows recruiting like that, but if he doesn't, I'm surprised, man, because he is
Aiden Hargrove is the kicker for Mountain View. And he's able to get this one off. And that is going to solidify it 14-6. 3 scores already in this first quarter of play. Mountain View's on top by a touchdown. Here's that instant replay. Just a big reach to get him out there across that end zone line for the 6 points. Great effort, young man. Well, I tell you, we'll see now what Ballard's going to do with their comeback, their answer, if you will, to this drive.
Yeah, we certainly will. They moved the ball well in their I guess in their second possession of the game, and they have to minimize mistakes. They opened the game up with an interception, and then even on the scoring drive, they missed the extra point.
Yeah.
So they have to minimize mistakes in order to stay in this football game.
You are correct. You are correct. We'll see what they'll be able to do for it here.
maybe he's not a highly rated guy and they have a bunch of stars, but
The deep man does look to be
Justin Quant on
Webster.
for the 3rd time tonight. He kicked off and then scored twice as they moved 6 before half to get in this first quarter. Dejan Wells, John Hauser, and Seth Webster.
And we have the kickoff. It's another high one driving all the way to the back, and this is going to bounce into the end zone as well. So the Beavers will take the ball over on the 20-yard line. The young quarterback blocker, Ryan Blocker, who showed us a pretty impressive arm strength so far for a sophomore, and in his ability to do a little scrambling on his own. So, Mountain View's got to keep an eye on him. He shows he can do a couple of things.
They certainly do, and the big part of this offense is going to be Ian Blocker.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is. Ballard comes out there with 5 wide.
The Beavers are an air raid offense, 5 wides here.
This time, Blocker's going to keep it again. This time it doesn't work for him the way it worked in the last series, and they are right there on top of him. Rodolfo Martel there to make the initial contact. We're going to lose about a yard on this play, bring up 2nd and 11. Empty backfield once again. Time he drops back, he is going to get flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take off running. Has a man almost threw that ball away again on another interception, potentially. Great job there by Kobe Anderson. The linebacker just kind of couldn't make the sack, so he just jumped up in the air and tried to knock the ball down. So great defensive intelligence there to recognize that I just got to do the best I can to slap it down.
Right.
Almost got an interception on that one. So that'll bring up third now. Third down. Another design rollout. This time he decides to keep it, breaks right up the middle of the field, and is just going to lower his shoulders and blow through the 30-yard line and get down to about the 33. That is going to be enough to move the chains. So you got to account for him. You got to account for him. He will take off on you.
You really do, and he showed his speed there. He's got the ability to throw the ball and run the ball, and keep it himself. And
he runs well in the open field. I mean, good feet. He's not just straight ahead. He knows how to make himself harder to catch. This time, man in motion. Going to hand that ball off to Webster. Webster makes a nice little jump cut before he gets up the field and gets down to the 38-yard line.
Looks like we got a holding penalty on Ballard here. That's going to back him up.
All righty. See the white cap, and that is correct. Looks like it happened right on the line of scrimmage, so or just past it. Bring up second and looks like 18. I'm sorry, first and 18. This game moving a little faster than the earlier game we had. We're down to 3:22 left to play in the quarter. 3 scores already in the quarter. Mountain View on top. Blocker drops back again, looks for his receiver in the middle of the field, and he makes that catch. George Blue is known there, make the catch. George Blue, kind of talked about him a little bit. He had a pretty good week last week, 6 catches for 90 yards in the game that they had last week. So he's one of the guys that they're going to like to go to, and they've got a couple of weapons out here. Empty backfield again. Blocker looking to throw this one. He's going to take off this time. He has got plenty of room and decide he is going to just lower the shoulder, take the blow, and get into Mountain View territory. Blocker's not afraid to take off and run.
No, he's not. He's not afraid to get hit either.
No, at all. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, this is an air raid type offense, and he's going to throw the ball. But I tell you what, if there's nowhere for him to go, then there you go. That's the kind of stuff you're going to get out of that young man. Is that extra effort is going to get you that first down. That does move the chains. Drops back again. Blocker's going to roll out. This time he has nowhere to go, and he is going to take the hit and lose about 7 yards on that one. Kobe Anderson there to step up and make that big sack.
That was a big. That's the second big play Kobe Anderson has made tonight.
Yeah.
That was a big hit.
It sure was. Sure was. Kind of spied him a little bit. The Beavers with a hurry-up offense. So it looks like everybody, including the linemen, have wristbands. They're calling out numbers and setting up plays right there without actually huddling up. Going to send the man in motion. Drops back. Trying to find somebody to get the ball out to. Has a whole lot of time. He lets this one go. Almost intercepted there. Mackay Anderson, yes, is the one who comes in there and pretty takes that one off. Good idea. Waited a little late to try to throw the ball that far down the field, because that's kind of what can happen to you if you wait that long.
Yeah.
You got to have people standing around.
You're right. And the ball, that ball was thrown a long way, but it was a little underthrown. Mm-hmm. And that's what allowed Mackay Anderson to step up and swat that ball away. Yeah.
Yeah, props to the Ballard offensive line there. They gave blocker a lot of time to get that ball off.
3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Here we
They've
go.
got five receivers now in the pattern.
45 blocker alone in the
Blocker's going to drop back, going to pump fake a guy. Has a guy open. Look at, and is going to get picked off.
from the safety spot.
Comes all the way over to bring that one down is Alec Can. Comes over to make the big interception. I tell you what, the type of pass that blocker tried to throw right there, yeah, that's a Saturday afternoon pass. That is a college. He tried to put it right there in that gap. And here's the replay. And little too much air on that one. He was trying to get that one in there before the guy had gotten to the safety. And Can was right there to come over and take advantage of that mistake.
As he made the catch, so it's 1st and 10 from the 28.
This time Moen is going to be a play action and has got a man open right in the middle of the field.
Falling to the turf at the 45 and a quick
It's Isaiah Johnson there for the big catch and the 15-yard catch to move the chains. So 1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Johnson now is the wing. Mertens, they're going to give him the ball. He's going to get in behind his blockers. This time he's going to make it to about the 50-yard line. So he's going to make it to midfield before he's stopped. But we do have a flag on the play. And we're going to wave the flag. So we'll take that back and we'll give Jack Mertens his 5 yards, 2nd down. We're down to the last minute and 14.
You know, the Ballard defense is going to have to find a way to stop Garrett Moten and Jack Mertens.
Yes.
I mean, and that's not to say there isn't another, offensive weapons on this Mountain View team. But so far, Mountain View has scored on every possession they've had, and they've already moved the football, 20 yards in 2 plays.
Yeah, they sure have. They sure have. Makai Anderson and Michael Bolds line up on the far side of the field. Johnson now goes into motion. They're going to give this ball to Johnson. This time he's going to take it back, and Moen's going to keep it himself before he's stopped right there at the 38-yard line. And that is going to be a nice 12-yard run there for the quarterback. Phil Earnhardt now comes into the game and replaces Isaiah Johnson. This time the 2 receivers there, Anderson and Bolts, line up here at the bottom of your screen, short side of the field. He has got, this time we'll see who's going to get it. There we go. Initial receiver is Anderson is who they were looking for. The defender right there in his face to make the stop. That looks like Eric Peters. Nice size DB, 6'3", 180 pounds. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
2 wides to the left. Mertens, the running back. Here's the snap. They're running
Moen decides he's going to keep this one, gets a nice pitch out to Jack Mertens. This is a nice defensive stance here. Textbook how you cover an option pass, an option play like that is somebody takes the quarterback and somebody stays out there with the running back regardless. You don't try to help me by trying to step in and help me with the quarterback, because the minute you do that, he's going to pitch.
Right.
So good job there. Gets 5 yards out of the play, and brings up a 3rd down in a long situation. This time they're going to give it to Mertens. Mertens finds some opening out there on the field, bounces back to the outside before he gets run out of bounds. Tell you what, he dips in to create some of the blocking angles that he needs for his guys, and then bounces that back out to the outside and just creates perfect situations for his guys to throw big blocks for him. And with that play, that is going to end the 1st quarter. This is Rod Lawrence and Ryan Vassbinder. EPS Sports will be back for quarter 2 right after this.
Of high school football, and this is
We are the people who dictate what happens. Most will say you can only dictate what happens in your personal life, but that's wrong. Democracy only works if you get involved, not stand by and idly watch, then complain about our leadership. That power is in our hands. So stand up and participate. Family, friends, Everyone depends on it.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
I was waiting for my neck to pop. Hey, we want to welcome you guys back here to McKenzie Stadium for quarter 2. Mountain View's on top 14-6. Ballard Beavers trying to stop the Mountain View from putting another point on there. Double handoff. Isaiah Johnson's going to get the ball, and he is going to get down to the 1 yard line. They're not going to give him the touchdown. They're going to say his knee went down, but a nice run there on the double handoff from Mertens to Isaiah Johnson. Now they bring in their power package, and when you see Andrew Gulliford come into the game on offensive side, they have got the power package, and you see it right there. They're going to give it to Mertens, and Mertens is going to get in. There it is, and we are waiting officially for the referee to go ahead and let them know. And that is Jack Mertens' second touchdown of the evening. Got in behind Andrew Gulliford and punched that one in. So not even a full minute into the quarter, and Mountain View is on the scoreboard again. Aiden Hargroves there to put the icing on the cake with the extra point. And we've got the kick. And they're going to say he made that one. So that's going to push it 2 scores now that Mountain View is on top of the Ballard Beavers. And we'll see what happens when the Beavers, when they come out to handle the ball for their first opportunity in this quarter.
We certainly will.
You know, obviously we see that Ballard we throw the ball. You know, that's what we do. That's what we're going to do, and we're not going to stop doing that. And you know, that's probably one of the things that makes them so dangerous is they can score fairly quick. If you're a team that airs it out the way they do, and have a quarterback like Blocker who can get around, can move around and make things happen, they can get back into this game really quick.
They certainly can, and right now we've got a game with 2 teams just throwing punches.
Yeah.
And Mountain View's been able to connect on a few more than what Ballard has, and the options are and the opportunities are there for Ballard. They just got to minimize their mistakes, and if they connect on a few more passes.
Yeah,
they'll be right back into this game.
They'll be right, but you're exactly right. Ballard coming into this contest with a 6-3 record. Mountain View with an 8-1, and everybody remembers that the one loss was. It's really easy for Mountain View to have been undefeated this season. That loss to Union, that probably shouldn't have happened. That probably should have been in the L column for the Union Titans, but Mountain View. Made a mistake right there at the end and allowed Mountain Union to get back into that game. And he's going to make it back up to about the 15-yard line before he stopped.
As we wait for the Ballard offense to get on the field, we do have a few halftime scores from other teams around the area. Looks like Black Hills 25 over Columbia River 0.
Oh.
So Columbia River needs to get back to that one, and then we also have Skyview 17 over Hazen, who's 17-14.
Oh, okay, good deal. Skyview always plays every team to the letter of that team. They play them so close. Coach Kaiser probably there is getting a year older of there coaching that one, I'm sure. Blocker drops back, looking for somebody. Starts to move around, waving guys around. Rolls back around the other side. This time he's going to take the sack. And he is going to lose some yards on this one. You know, that's one of the things, he's got to learn being a quarterback, on Friday night. don't take the sack. Get rid of that. There's an opportunity to just throw. He was outside of the tackle box. He had receivers down the field. Let that one go, and then go back to 2nd and 10 instead of now what you're looking at is about 2nd and 17.
Yeah, and that has to do with some of his youth. I mean, he's only a sophomore. But something he'll learn as he continues to grow.
Yeah, sure do.
Crocker, the running back to the right of Blocker, 2 eyes to each side.
Crocker now moves over to the side. We have got slot receivers. They're going to give this one to Crocker. Crocker is going to kind of get over the 10-yard line down to possibly the 11. Bring up 3rd down.
So now we've got a 3rd and 15 situation deep in the Beavers' own territory. They're going to have to air this one out.
Yeah, they are 3rd and a long time to go. This is a perfect opportunity for Mountain View to pin their ears back and really come at them. And they do keep a back inside. I'm wondering if they're going to keep him in for blocking purposes. And that's kind of what they do. They decide that they're going to do a late run with the quarterback. Interesting play call here for a 3rd and long situation. They're not going to get much out of it. They're going to have to end up kicking this one away.
Yeah, I don't understand that play call. With an air raid offense, stick with what your offense knows.
Yeah.
Especially in a 3rd and long situation.
Let that one go. Let it go. You had 4 receivers out in routes. I mean, that's going to bring up the punt team. They're going to be kicking out of the end zone. So Mountain View's going to have an opportunity for some pretty good field position here. It's a low driving kick. He's going to catch that one on the hop. It's Philip Mertens. Gets past the first tackler there. Gets past the 3rd one. Steps back inside, and he's going to make it down to about the 8-yard line before he's stopped. The kicker there has to be there to save that tackle. Well, that is another 6 points on the board. Good run back there for Phil Earnhardt.
We usually say good, great, elite. I don't know if they're elite yet, but man, they're making it hard for me not to call them elite.
Couple returning all-league players.
Mullen there comes in. Got a wing back in Isaiah Johnson. Mullen's going to hand this to Johnson. Johnson's going to take it right up the middle, and he is going to get in for the touchdown. Are they going to? They're waiting to see, and they are going to go ahead and give him the touchdown. So nice run there by Isaiah Johnson, who just tucks right in behind his blocking and follows him right into the end zone. This is going to officially push it to 3 scores.
Yeah, that was a great run by Isaiah Johnson, and at this point, it's starting to get away from Ballard High School a little bit. They're going to have to find a way to either get points up on the board themselves or stop this Mountain View offense.
Yeah, exactly. It's either going to have to be a high-scoring game or that defense is going to have to step up and do something for them. And right now, Ballard's down by 3 scores, 28-6. Isaiah Johnson having a real good night. This is his first night start. He hadn't started all season long. And him and now Phil Earnhardt splitting time out there, and Isaiah having a pretty good night. Nice shot there of the old fight song there for the Mountain View Thunder. Here is the replay. And he gets right in behind Rodolfo Martel. Martel plowed the field for him, made it easy.
It's not that Union, Rory Rosenbach's a great coach too, but maybe it's just tougher to manage those talents or those personalities.
So now Ballard now down by 3 scores. Their offense needs to get in here and put together a nice little drive, keep Mountain View off the field offensively, and kind of tire out that defense a little bit.
When you have someone like Larry and Chase, right? You have all these star players. It's hard for them to understand. Okay, this is my role, right? Well, this is my role. This is my role. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I want to see Ballard come out here, and I really want him to see him put this air raid offense to the test. I want to see him throw the ball.
We have got the kickoff, and this time it's going to get picked up. He's going to get down into the 20. Makes his way. Now he's getting to the far side of the field. So out running people He's going to make it to the 40 before he is taken out of bounds.
Defenders catch up to him and just kind of ring him around the waist and throw him out of bounds on that far side.
So German Hauser there to get these guys into some pretty good field position. They're going to take the ball over on their own 40-yard line.
And Hauser, not a big guy. He's only a 5'7", 145-pound junior.
Oh, he's pretty quick, though.
He certainly is.
Put him in all these crazy situations that the schemes are going to have to beat Mountain View. Sometimes you just got to give your star players the ball in open field. And there's a reason
All right, so once again, Ballard is going to,
Dejon Wells has not touched it tonight on offense. Neither has Lucas.
let's see here. They've got the
More explosive players.
they've got the first down block on the 45. So, okay, they're going to give him the ball to the 45 as opposed to the 40. And there you go. So they got an extra 5 yards out of the deal. Not quite sure why, but we're going to go ahead and run with it.
Three wides to the right, one to the left. Webster running back, 1st and 10 from their own 45 is where they'll give them the ball. Here's the snap, hand to Webster.
Zed Webster
Middle, right side, show some patience.
is going to get across the 45 down to the 46. They'll give him about a yard, so we'll bring up 2nd and 10. Got 3 receivers down here on the bottom. Dejon Wells, the outside receiver on the numbers.
180, 240, 165, and 245 are the weights there for Ballard's starters. 3 wides to the right and 1 to the
Phil
left.
Earnhardt lined up
Snap,
tough,
rolling right
man for man on him.
steps up in the pocket. Now he's getting
Blocker now is going to take off,
moving left side.
and this time he is going to take another sack on that. Is going to go down at about the 42, 43-yard line. Lose about 4 or 5 yards on this play, and it's going to bring up another 3rd down and long.
some good advice from a young man who has talent.
Great defense, secondary play out there, not giving blocker a whole lot to throw to.
Kind of end the play, right?
No, there's not, but
Sometimes if it's not
blocker needs to throw the ball away in those situations.
Yeah.
He's outside of the tackles. He needs to find an area where he can throw the ball to. I mean, this is an air raid offense, and they haven't thrown the ball a whole lot. And
No.
I just don't understand some of the play calls so far by Ballard.
Well, maybe they heard you, man. They're going to take a timeout and talk about it and see if they can come up with a better set of plays. Ballard definitely need to talk about this. But with that being said, Mountain View secondary doing a very good job of keeping these receivers covered and not giving blocker an opportunity to find an open receiver. And we'll just kind of see him, maybe some short, quick things. I tell you what, I saw down here at the bottom of the screen, Phil Earnhardt had Dejon Wells locked up man for man, and really did not give him any breathing room whatsoever.
They do, and maybe they didn't as much against Union. Maybe it's because his linemen are better or whatever it is. But when you really get pressure on someone like Luke and Victor, you know what he's going to do, right? He's going to put his foot in the ground and he's just going to take off. And
This time they got
I can see why they
slot receivers on either side, wideouts as well. Crocker, the running back. Crocker's going to stay in the block.
15, blocker gonna chuck it
And
from his
nice little stop route there by number 11, just unable to make the connection. Lucas Waters was there, and he kind of let his feet die into the pavement there and kind of turn around. And definitely a timing right type pass, just the ball wasn't there when he turned around. Off the mark a bit.
Yeah,
Brought
it
up
certainly
another
was.
4th down, and Ballard's going to have to kick the ball away again.
all-league talent and all-league player, Philip Earnhardt.
And Phil Earnhardt is definitely very dangerous returner. High snap, but he is able to get that. This is going to be catchable and returnable, and Earnhardt is going to do just that. He is going to get back across the 25-yard line and bring out the Mountain View offense, 1st down.
Dines, a reserve sophomore in pursuit, made the tackle. It's not easy to tackle Earnhardt when he gets going, so that's a nice play there.
There we go. That's a little something, right? You got to take away the positives so far, but anything that Ballard can
Moen now comes out there.
stop.
Mertens lined up as running back. Isaiah Johnson is the wing.
You have to find a way to
Mekhi Anderson lined up as the outside receiver.
Defense coached up by Dan DeLong. Ballard class of
They're going to give this one to Mertens. Mertens is going to break through the secondary, get into the secondary, I should say, and get down to near the first down mark. We'll see where they spot that. They're going to give him just about all of it there. Second down in inches. He's going to have to get to, it looks like, the 49 to officially get the first down. This time Moen decides to keep it himself. He explodes through the hole. This time he is off to the races. He is going to get ran down from behind.
But the senior quarterback is a dual threat, and he showed why. Another explosive
From the big defensive linebacker out there.
how they do it, what they do.
Number 88.
Offense, the running
He definitely saves the touchdown because Moen was on his way. And you just kind of look at that little spurt. There's that explosion that gets him through the hole that allows him to get into the open space.
28-6 Mountain View with the lead in the ball now.
So another big run there by the quarterback. This time Anderson is the intended receiver. This is almost great job there by Dejon Wells to get in there and make an attempt at that. Mekhi Anderson also there. Both of them having a hand war there, trying to decide on who's going to come down with that football. Could have been just about anybody.
It gives the DB life, and it gives him a chance to make a play on the ball. If that's the case,
Moen puts it out there and gives him an opportunity. Great job there. Great football IQ there by Dejon Wells.
Yeah, he was almost able to pull that in. It would have been a big interception for
It
Ballard.
sure would have.
To the left, Mertens, the running back,
Moen is going to give this one to Mertens. Mertens looking for the outside. He's going to step up inside, and he's going to get down to the 20.
jumps over a pile and finds the ground at the 21. So that sets up third and medium here for the offense with 6 minutes left in this first half. That's a play that Ballard struggled to defend.
Well, 6 minutes and running here in the first half. Mountain View's on top by 3 scores.
it's too hard to try to stop that.
3rd and 5. Moen
They're looking
option
for it
kick from
again.
left
Moen,
side. He's
this
gonna
time he's going to make the pitch late. Mertens is going to get down across the 15-yard line and get them deeper into the red zone. That will be enough to move the chains and bring them a new set of downs.
From the 15-yard line, and that nice little option play to the far side where there's a lot of space. They've been having some success there.
A lot of space and just attack the defender. Whatever decision he makes, just know that it's going to be the wrong one because that's
Michael Bowles lined up all the way out there on the far side of the field. This time they're going to be a play-action play. Looking for a man right up the middle. He makes the catch to Isaiah, and Isaiah Johnson gets in for the touchdown. We've got a late flag there, but we'll see. That's probably going to be the dead ball variety. So the touchdown will count, and this is Isaiah Johnson's second touchdown of this half.
Did he maybe kick the pylon? Is this Oregon-Stanford 2.0?
no. You got to give him that touchdown.
He did not fumble the ball, so I'll say that. No matter what, it'll be Mountain View ball. I thought he was clearly in. We have a personal foul penalty.
So a personal foul against the Ballard Beavers. Not quite sure what the foul was. We'll see if we can pick that up here on the instant replay. Nice little play action and rolls out. Just kind of sets up right there. Great catch.
I think what we see here is a little late hit after he's in the end zone.
So
There's the
not
personal
quite
foul
sure.
penalty.
There's the personal foul, a late hit there by Ian Crocker. And they'll assess that on the kickoff. So Aiden Hargroves here to put that, hang that extra point out here on him.
But instead, I was just looking at you like, Preston, come on, man, let me know what's happening.
Aiden Hargrove is
So Hargrove is there to make the kick, and we have got another penalty flag stopping that. So I would imagine they're going to back them up a little bit and make them go at this one more time. Oh, actually, it was against Ballard. So not quite sure why they stopped that before it actually had a chance to play itself out, but they did, and Hargroves is going to have to try it again.
It's just so, I keep saying, I don't want to keep saying it's so hard to stop them, but press him on, man. In this situation for Ballard, like, how do you think you attack? Do you just bring pressure?
Folks from Ballard had to travel a long way for this game. I talked to their coach at the beginning, and they were kind of hoping that the ride down wasn't going to be a bad one, and he said it was pretty good. But not everybody could make that, obviously, so I hope you guys are tuned in on the YouTube channel at the Evergreen School District and enjoying the game that way. Hargrove's here, the second attempt at it, and it's going to be good again. So that's going to hang the 35 on them. And Ballard still stuck on the 6. And we are 5:32 until the end of this half.
Yeah, Ballard they need to find something to get something going offensively and find a way to stop Mountain View's offense. They haven't been able to do that yet. I don't think Mountain View's turned the ball over. They may not.
This is a tough offense to stop. I mean, I remember even back in my days when I coached and I had to coach against Adam. His offense it's hard. It's a hard one. What happens in this type of an offense when they've got everything moving around in the backfield is if you get caught chasing and not just staying in your role and handling your responsibility, then that's when you get caught behind a step behind. And they've always had good running backs. Good running backs come out of this school, which is why it's interesting why that there's folks that left this offense to go other places. When if you're a running back, this is where you want to be. You want to be if you run the football, you want to be at Mountain View.
Right.
And now he's been able to open it up even more, and it's been an even more balanced team where he throws the ball a lot. The receivers on this team get some love out here, and well balanced. And if you're a running back, why leave? You're going to get the rock. So that big penalty, they're going to kick the ball off now from the Ballard side of the field. So for all intents and purposes, this ball is going to be started off at the 20-yard line for 1st and 10. Ballard going the other way because I can't see how this ball will not get kicked into the end zone. So here we go now, and is going to be 1st down and 10 for the Ballard Beavers. Ryan Blocker, the man in command here for the Beavers. Sophomore, got plenty of time left to make do big things for this team.
Yeah, the game is far from over at this point, but they have to find a way to move the football and move the chains.
Yes, they do. Zed Webster now lines up now in the backfield with Blocker. Got 3 receivers down here at the bottom. Another design rollout. This time they're going to hand it off to Zeb Webster. Webster's going to make a nice little move to get some extra yards. He's going to get run out of bounds there by Earnhardt, and he's going to go on about 40. So nice little play. Designed rollout. Good play call there on that one. They need some success running the football to kind of free up, kind of make those linebackers believe that the ball is going to be thrown. And just a kind of a wraparound delayed run pass there, a run for Zed Webster, and he does a nice little job getting out there and getting the yards needed for the 1st down. That'll move the chains. Blocker now looks down the field. This time he's going to try to step out of it. And he does get out of it. He falls back the other way, now looking for somebody to throw that ball to. And this time he's going to take the ball himself. I tell you what, he did a whole lot out there to get an 8-yard run. He ran about 30 yards to get 8.
He certainly did.
But once again, that's what we kind of talked about is those are the type of things that are going to allow his receivers to also try to wiggle their ways open, because now they're going to have to worry about this guy might take off. And if he gets out of the pocket, he's gone. He's generally going to get the yards needed for the 1st down.
Yeah, and his offensive line is doing a good job giving him plenty of time back there to either find a receiver or find a lane.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to bite it and fall down.
2nd and 2 from the 48, 3 wides to the right. Webster.
This now you're going to hand this ball off. Nice jump cut there by Zed Webster. And he is going to get down across the 40, down into the 38-yard line. That'll move the chains again.
Yeah, so we're finally seeing Ballard move the football.
Yep.
And they've looked good.
They have. Here's the replay on this run, and I like the way Webster gets up the field right now to make things happen. Nice little run.
1st and 10 with 4:15 to go in the half. Ballard trailing 35-6.
Webster now moves back into the running back position out of the slot.
Webster running back to the left of the sophomore QB.
Going to get this ball out to the receiver on the far side. This time he is not going to have anywhere to go on that one. Jordan Cook there to make the stop. George Blue trying to do something extra after the catch, but unable to do so. Ian Crocker now lines up in the backfield. Ian, a big guy, 6'1", 210. Drops back. Ian stays in the block. They're looking for a receiver. Oh, just a little too high for the receiver to be able to bring that one in, but he was wide open. He had found an opening spot, a soft spot in the Mountain View defense, and was right there, had to make that catch. Should have been there to make that one. That is Farley, the intended receiver. Kind of floated on him a little bit. Not able to bring that one in.
3rd and 12 from the 39 of Mountain View. Walker and the Weavers, 3 wides to the left, 2 to the right for the air raid offense. Big 3rd down. Here's the snap. 3-step drop.
Walker drops back. Now looking, this time he's going to get flushed out. He is going to take another sack and is going to lose about 6 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up another 4th down and long situation. And that's kind of what it's been happening. That's kind of been the story, 2 good plays, and then you take a big sack, and then it just takes them out of contention for anything. I mean, I can tell you one thing: there's no coach across football at any level that's got a play for 3rd and 17 and 3rd and 12 and 3rd and there's nothing in the playbook for that one.
Joe Zonner standing at his own 42. Good snap. He's going to boot it. It is high.
A nice little kick there. Hoping he's going to let that one, and he decides to pick it up. Not quite sure why. He let that one happen. Probably should have let that one go into the end zone and take the ball on the 20. But Mountain View now will take the ball over deep in their own territory. Inside the 5, 1st down and 10. 2:35 left to play in the quarter. Mountain View 35, Ballard 6. Ballard showing that they should have the possibility to have much more points on the board, but then they take big sacks. And I think one of the conversations the quarterback's going to have with his coach. And here we go with another big one. Nice save there by Deshaun. Deshaun Wells gets there in front of Makai Anderson to knock that one down. And like I was saying, in the halftime, the quarterback and the quarterback coach are going to have to talk. And the comment of that conversation is you're going to have to let that ball go. Get it out of your hands.
Absolutely.
We can't keep taking these big sacks and these big losses because it's taking us out of the game plan. Johnson goes into motion. This time Moen's going to fake it to him and keep it himself. Breaks to the outside, and he's going to get down to the 20-yard line, it looks like. Yep, 20-yard line before he goes down. That'll be enough to move the chains. Clock stopped at him, 2:20. We'll start back up as soon as the chains are set.
Came in with 2,000 yards and 19 touchdowns, both 3rd and
And here we go. They give this one to Jack. And double handoff again, this time Isaiah Johnson ends up with it again, but he fumbles this one. And we'll see what's going to go on. The official, the line judge is saying he was down. So they will keep the ball, but there's a late penalty flag that comes into the game.
A Ballard player, Ian Crocker, comes up with it. And we see a flag and still no marking of who has possession as the officials are getting together. And the head official,
so we'll see here what the official with the white cap is going to say to us.
personal foul.
So we got a face mask against Ballard. We'll see
So the ball will stay
which
with
variety that
They'll
is.
get 15 yards from the end of Johnson.
Another nice inside handoff. Good run there and there's the face mask I believe that they called. And they gave him the big 15-yard version because it snatched his head.
Respect every opponent, but hey, man,
So
running up the score if we're staying aggressive.
after a nice run, they're going to tack 15 more yards to that, and they'll bring down first down in Ballard territory. They're going to hand this off to Mertens. Simon Mertens, nowhere to go. He is going to get stopped before he gets only a couple there by Ian Crocker, I'm sorry.
This first half, 51-49.
He'll bring up second down.
6, the Mountain View lead, 45 yards away from adding another touchdown to this dominant first half. Mertens, the running back to the left, and Moen in the gun.
Mertens now, here we go. This time Moen
Play
play action, has a man open in the middle, and that is going to be Johnson again, there to make the catch right between two defenders.
He finds Johnson inside the 15.
Johnson having a very big night.
He certainly is, but that was a great pass by Garrett Moen.
Yeah, it sure was.
He threaded the needle between the two safeties, and he found his man.
So with that big catch, that's going to bring up first down just outside the 10-yard line.
Anderson and Earnhardt to the left. Here's
Potential
the
8 yards. Moen's going to keep this one himself. Steps back into the middle of the field looking for the touchdown, and he's going to get it.
Touchdown, Mountain View.
And with a minute 20 left to play, Mountain View pushes the score 6 more points to 41. 41 points here in just the first half of the game. Here's that instant replay of the big catch by Johnson, and he puts that right there where he needs to put that for the big catch. So Moen throws the big catch, throws the big run, I should say, and then has a big catch along with it. And he's responsible for that entire drive. Hargrove.
For Hargrove, this looks way wide right. Did it sneak in there?
And this one's going to get in.
That ball was in the air.
Looks like he got under that one a little bit.
It's his.
And here is the touchdown by Moen. Just being able to find space and get into it right now. A little help from his big lineman there to kind of throw him across the line. (42-6), Mountain View High School over the Ballard Beavers. So definitely one of the things to be taken into consideration is the score and how they're going to be perceived in the seating meeting on Sunday. So, this when you're talking about seating and things like that, it kind of makes you have to put the pedal to the metal and keep your foot on the pedal so you can get a good seating. Coming out of this, you get a low seed, you might play one of those teams that might sneak up and beat you.
Right, and I mean, head coach Adam from Mountain View watched the Union game before this, and he saw what happened, and a 40-point lead turned into a 20, less than a 20-point lead by the end of the football game, and that's going through his mind, saying we can't let that happen. We have to come out here. We have to end this game with a big lead because that's who we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And we deserve a top seed in the state.
That is exactly true. That's German Hauser who ran that ball out.
Ballard's going to have to find a way to go ahead and get back into this game now. Here's an interesting thing that I saw that of their coaching staff, 12 of the 15 members of their coaching staff graduated from Ballard High School, dating all the way back to 1977. So there's heritage and there's tradition there, and they're not going to give up. They're going to continue.
There's out there Deshaun Johnson out there on the outside. He's going to get that ball on a screen play. He's going to get a couple out of it before he's stacked up. That'll get him down to the 21-yard line.
On top of that, they're doing a good job of getting pressure on the sophomore quarterback. He doesn't have a ton of time.
Right, he doesn't have a ton of time, and it's making him uncomfortable. You can tell because That's why he's moving around in the pocket so much.
Ball at the right hash on the 21. 2nd and 7. 30 seconds and counting left in this first half. Here's the snap.
Blocker takes the ball out of the shotgun position. He fires it down
For Wells, and it was a nice ball.
to Dejon Wells, and that's going to hit the floor. The ball's going to be incomplete. So 23 seconds left here in the first half. You would imagine that Ballard's going to continue to air raid this football out, try to get something before the half ends.
Those are the kind of plays you have to come up with. I know, like I said, it's easier said than done, but I'm just doing.
Got a spread offense. We got 3 up on the far side of the field, 2 on the near side.
3 seconds left. 3rd and 7.
Blocker takes the football off the height.
They fire it quickly to Blue.
He finds George Blue on the outside, and he gets shoved out of bounds. It's like on the 27-yard line. That's going to stop the clock. There's 10. So it stops. The clock stops at 9 seconds remaining. 4th and 2 on the 26.
There's also only 9 seconds left. We should probably punt this away if you're Ross Humphreys, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that.
Blocker's getting the play call from head coach Ross Humphreys. Looks like they adjusted the clock back to 15 seconds left.
Now they take a late timeout.
But at the same time,
They're going to go ahead and they're going to call a timeout.
one of those penalties, we almost took that back.
So with 15 seconds here remaining in the first half, Mountain View 42, Ballard High School 6. It's, the Ballard has they have opportunities to get back into this football game. They've got a high mountain to climb, but it's not insurmountable. They've got offensive weapons that they can utilize. They just have to, start making connections. They've got to limit the amount of mistakes that they're making, the penalties that they're making, and the drop passes. But they have a chance to get back in this football game. I mean, you take a look at the Oregon State game last week. They were able to go ahead and claw their way back from a 35-point deficit. So the football game is definitely not over. They're just going to need to change their game plan a little bit when they come out for the second half. Looks like they're going to go ahead and punt the football away. Ball's punted from 15-yard line, end over end. Takes a high bounce at the 38, hits the official and goes out of bounds. They're going to spot the ball out of bounds at the 32-yard line with 6 seconds remaining. Mountain View is going to take over the football.
Got by the official. Great play.
So you would imagine that Garrett Moen will just lead this thing out.
So you would think that Garrett Moen's just going to go ahead and take a knee here and ride the half out.
Run with Mertens or Trayshawn Foreman, the fullback, or the passing game with Kai Anderson and Isaiah Johnson, Philip Earnhardt, and all the weapons that Adam Matheson's Thunder offense possess. No one's going to line up in the gun at his own 32.
So Mountain View lines up in shotgun formation, 2 on the near side. They hand the ball off to Jack Mertens. Jack Mertens claws his way up to 37, and that's going to go ahead and end the half. Mountain View 42, Ballard High School 6. Going to send it down to Matt Griffin and Rodney the Jet Lawrence for halftime.
Hello, everybody. Matt Griffin here, executive producer of EPS Sports, where the Mountain View Thunder are leading the Ballard Beavers 42-6. I'm joined now by Rodney the Jet Lawrence as we talk over the Mountain View Thunder pep band that are quite loud. We'll talk more about them in a minute. They're running away with this.
Yeah, they are. You kind of thought that could possibly be the case just because we know how good Mountain View really is. And that offense of theirs is just so hard to stop because all that movement that they have in the background. And as a defensive player, if you get caught chasing at any time of the game, you're going to end up a step behind this team. And they're showing it now. And Mountain View is just definitely handling some stuff. And we've got some nice highlights
First half
here.
highlights here.
And Jack Mertens is, he's their guy, and he's ultimately going to be the one who's going to take them to the championship. That is their main horse. That's their guy. But now we've seen a few extra pieces here tonight, and this is going to be, I think, one of the highlights. This is the big catch here for for Ballard for their first
Yeah,
touchdown.
and they absolutely skied that pass.
Yeah, they
and,
sure did.
And I think just caught Mountain View a little flat-footed, but then after that touchdown, it's all Mountain View.
It's all all Mountain
So
View.
tell me about, we talked about him, number 7 there. Some other standouts here for Mountain View.
Isaiah Johnson, who is getting his first start tonight, number 23, has done some great things out there today. I mean, had a real good first half. Has got 2 touchdowns already. This is the very first time we got to see him starting and getting this much playing time. He's taken time going back and forth with Phil Earnhardt and is doing a great and outstanding job.
So we talked about the Union Titans game, our first game of the evening, and then this game. The seating committee meets on Sunday. How do you think that's all going to shake out?
That's good. That's real interesting. We were talking about the Union game earlier and how bad they were beating everybody. But then second half, Rory kind of took the pedal off the gas, right, and allowed Ian Claw to get back into the game. And everybody knows when we're talking about seating, it's all about how bad you beat somebody.
Right.
So hopefully that they're going to be taking into consideration how big the score was at halftime,
right,
and not necessarily look at the end score. As far as Mountain View, I full on expect Coach Matheson to keep the pedal to the metal, keep the scores up there real high, so they get a good seed.
Well, and their only loss of the year we were talking about was a non-league game early in the season versus Union.
Exactly.
All right, well, Rodney, I want to thank you for making this such a successful EPS sports season.
Well, thank you.
We broadcast more football games than we have in any year previous, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back up in the booth for the second half. And while we're talking about EPS sports and what it takes to bring a broadcast like this to you at home, whether you're watching from Ballard or here in Clark County, it's brought to you by video production students from across Evergreen Public Schools and their teachers. KPTV recently paid a visit to Skyview High School, where my counterparts in Vancouver Public Schools also broadcast sports as part of VPS Game Time, and they did this story about what it takes to bring you these broadcasts.
Well, the magic of TV really is truly done behind the scenes. It's the people in the back that are the real MVPs. The viewers in Clark County, the real winners of the broadcast crews delivering football, volleyball, soccer, track, hoops, you name it, they've got it. We go tag team with Vancouver Public Schools Game Time and Evergreen Public Schools Sports Broadcasting in tonight's High School Spotlight. This is reality TV. Student-driven, behind the lens and behind the switcher.
Something usually goes wrong right at the very beginning in the studio.
That's TV.
The TV stars beyond the Friday night lights are the man hours logged after school by the crews for VPS Game Time and Evergreen Sports. We're both ready for prime time.
People always ask, why you keep doing this when you could just go home and hang out. To me, this is kind of hanging out because it's that much fun.
VPS and EPS are instructed by former local television news producers Nick Voll and Matt Griffin.
As somebody who's worked in news, I've seen what a good production looks like, what a professional production looks like, and that's what these kids are getting.
We're trying to give them a real-life job experience that they could take into any type of video field, broadcasting field.
The student volunteers are in video production courses during the school day before the broadcast day begins on Comcast Cable Channel 328, as well as their respective live feeds on Facebook and YouTube.
I don't really see it as extra work. It's really fun to me, and getting to do this after a long school day is sometimes hard because I can get pretty tired, but overall, it's pretty engaging.
And not all jobs are created equal.
I actually ran the instant replay machine, which everyone says is the hardest job, which it is.
Both broadcasts deliver the images differently. VPS streams over a fiber network to a control room a few miles away. EPS completely on scene, with a production truck at the stadium or gym where the broadcast is originating from.
One of the things that we appreciate is that our school districts actually support this sort of thing, that they don't view it as some sort of, extra thing. It's something that actually benefits our community, from the folks at home watching to the kids on the court or the field and the kids behind the camera. It's something that they value, and we appreciate that.
And the programs have churned out some professionals in the industry, like Timber's Emmy Award-winning director, Patrick Brown.
This gives an opportunity to just create that school spirit, showcase students doing positive things in a way where they can learn real-life job skills.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again, the video production students and teachers who put on our EPS sports broadcast do it after spending 8 hours in school, and then tonight's broadcast will take another roughly 8 hours. So that's a 16-hour day for these students and teachers. So I can't thank them enough for making this the most successful EPS sports season in history. Now, of course, you can hear the Mountain View Pep Band behind me firing up again. These students at Mountain View High School will soon be the recipients of brand new instruments brought to you by Clark County voters who recently passed the Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond. We paid a visit to several schools that are the recipients of new instruments brought to you by that grant.
It's a moment students at Evergreen High School have been waiting for. They're helping unpack dozens of new instruments purchased with the help of voters who approved this year's Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond.
That looks like a bass clarinet. What do you play, Nick? Bass clarinet. There you go.
Through a 3-year process, funds from the bond will be used to purchase $800,000 worth of new instruments for schools across the district. The scene at Evergreen also played out at Pacific Middle School, where band director Chris Sigmund anxiously awaited the delivery by our warehouse staff.
This is a French horn. Our French horns are very old, from like the, I don't know, mid-80s. So we're very excited to get these new instruments. Our baritones, we have some baritones that were from when the school opened in 1981, and they have holes in them. These things are going to replace those, so we're really excited. Some kid's going to be very lucky to play this guy.
Back inside the school, he showed us the kind of aging, banged-up instruments these new ones will replace.
Literally taped up, okay? And these guys here are getting replaced because of this bond. So we're very excited. Very excited. Oh yeah. That beautiful rose gold lead pipe. These things are going to last for years to come. We have nice stands for these so they don't get dented. When the kids play them, they sit inside the stands. These are going to sound great.
Fine and Performing Arts Director Corinne Ormson says the new instruments will also allow students to get more use out of the older instruments that are in better shape.
These old instruments that have been replaced, now those can be checked out by kids and taken home to practice, things like that.
I'm so excited. We have kids can use them. I'm so excited. We can really use all these. I'm thrilled.
Corinne adds that the support of voters who passed the Envision Evergreen Bond is helping the district provide a more enriching school experience.
So we're able to provide the same kind of experience at all of our schools across the district. So we're able to provide more equity and then access to more students. So the more instruments we have, the more students we can serve. The arts are so important to educating the whole child and really an integral part of the education. The students learn creativity and teamwork and how to work through difficulty and challenge and through the arts classes. And so this support really helps our students be able to have the best education they can.
And we say thank you once again to the Clark County voters who made the Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond and those brand new instruments a reality as we reshape our schools for the future. Now here at McKenzie Stadium, big football crowd, and our food service providers, Chartwells, are busy cooking up the kind of food that keeps these teenagers going. You know, I'm talking about hamburgers, hot dogs, nachos, that kind of stuff. But they recently paid a visit to Crestline Elementary School to give students a special surprise.
The library at Crestline Elementary School has been transformed into a fine dining restaurant, courtesy of Evergreen Public Schools food service provider, Chartwells. Chartwell's resident district manager explains the concept behind At Your Service.
So At Your Service is a program designed to reward the students for a job well done in the school and also teach the kids etiquette. We invite adults to join the students so they can be like mentors to these students and give them some ideas about careers and encourage them to stay in school and do well in school.
Students and distinguished guests, including our superintendent and our school board president, dined on a 4-course meal.
So this is a French-style string bean, actually, and it's just lightly seasoned, pan-seared chicken with the lemon sauce with using the juices, and then the potatoes is the mashed potatoes, and you mix in a little egg to whip it up nice and some seasonings, and then you pipe it out. Makes it nice and fancy.
The students receive a short table etiquette class before the meal, and some admit being a little nervous.
I like the fancy part of it. I was through kind of also nervous because when I can barely pick up the cup, my arm was shaking.
You can tell that they're really excited. I heard one little boy say he was going to take his etiquette sheet home and put it on his wall. So, just some special attention and a really nice opportunity that a lot of our kids don't get.
So how did you guys get? And what fine dining experience isn't made more special with a little music? Vancouver dermatologist and violinist Bashir Beatty said he was happy to clear his schedule when he was asked to share music for the event.
I feel it uplifts me, my spirit, because I enjoy doing something that I think makes this experience more special and memorable, hopefully, for the participants, for the children. Things like this, knowing from my own childhood, something like this would stick in my mind as a positive experience. So I feel great being a part of this and being allowed to do my part for this.
And that's what this is all about, teaching students to be of service to others and to show how important students and their schools are to our community.
Confucius once said that you choose a profession you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So it's really, I enjoy doing these kind of things. I want the students to tell their grandchildren about this experience and why they love their school, why they love their principal, why they love their lunch lady. So that's exactly why I do it, and that's why I feel so rewarded doing it.
Whether it's volunteering to read to elementary school students, or preparing food for our summer meals program, or being a lunch buddy, or making sure our concerts and sporting events are safe for students and visitors, or volunteering to teach art discovery classes, there are countless volunteer opportunities in Evergreen Public Schools.
I think most people value our kids as being our future, and so we need to help keep those kids going.
And signing up to be a volunteer is easy. Just go to our website, evergreenps.org/community partnerships. Click on the link to download a volunteer application, fill out just a few forms, and submit them. Once you've cleared the simple background check, you'll be ready to make a difference. This art discovery volunteer sums it up with a quote from a famous Dr. Seuss book.
It makes you feel good to volunteer. It's fun to help the kids. It's fun to get to know the kids. I think kind of like the one slur in the Lorax said, unless someone like you helps a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. So you need to help in order for things to get better. And I think that volunteering is definitely one way that you can help.
Make a difference. Become an Evergreen Public Schools volunteer.
Here's you. Here's your future. You can be anything you want. The possibilities are endless. But it's scary. What do you want to do? Do you know? Check out Cascadia Tech Academy. With 16 programs, it's a great way to explore careers and get hands-on learning. If you think Cascadia Tech is not right for you, let's bust some myths. Myth number 1. Cascadia Tech won't really help me land a great career. That couldn't be more false. We've got 16 programs that can lead to good-paying jobs that your friends who just attend high school won't be qualified to get.
You can learn stuff that you can immediately take out and go into real life and do. We're worth our weight in gold in this program.
Myth number 2. Cascadia Tech is not for college-bound students. But it is. We've got honor students, students going to 2 or 4 year colleges, and students planning on entering a trade after high school, so everyone.
I love all the programs here are so great. Sure, you talk to people from different programs and they say the same thing. Like they just love it and the community that's here and all the skills that you learn.
The fact is, Cascadia Tech gives you both academic and technical training to prepare you for life after high school, no matter where that takes you.
1, 2.
Myth number 3, Cascadia Tech is weak in academic content. Again, false. Here's the deal. Cascadia Tech takes a deeper dive into careers that are very much in demand. You're going to come out of high school with an advantage over everyone else because you learn real skills for the real world. Those algebra skills you're learning right now at Cascadia Tech, you'll actually use them to build and design. Myth number 4, Cascadia Tech takes away from my high school experience. In fact, you'll spend half your day at Cascadia Tech and the other half at your high school. You get to hang out with your friends, still get to participate in sports, music, and clubs. That doesn't mean you're not going to meet a lot of new friends right here at Cascadia Tech. The students here share a passion for learning.
I get to just be surrounded by people who love the same thing I do, and it really motivates me to keep following my passion.
So we've just busted a bunch of myths. Here are the real facts. Cascadia Tech is your avenue for careers that are in demand. You get to explore career options for free. You're going to learn teamwork, problem solving, and interpersonal skills. It's just what employers are looking for. So, think about your future. You want to graduate ready for a lucrative career? Cascadia Tech is a great first step towards college, trade school, or even your first job.
I would definitely recommend to anyone who would like to truly follow their passion and follow their dream.
Cascadia Tech is amazing. I'm always recommending it to students.
And we want to thank everyone for watching tonight. Now, second half action, the Ballard Beavers versus the Mountain View Thunder. Take it away, Rodney and Ryan.
Hey, thanks a lot there, Matt. Great halftime show there you guys put together. Appreciate it. Great job. I'd like to thank Matt and the entire production crew out at the Evergreen School District. They put together a great show tonight and this year, so definitely appreciated it. We're going to go ahead and start this off with an onside kick. Ballard trying to do something a little special here to try to get an opportunity to get that ball back. Alec Can there, able to get his hands on that one to drop to the ground and just make sure that the Mountain View is going to take the ball over now in some very good field position. I'm Rodney Lawrence. Ryan Vassbinder here with me tonight. Ryan, let's kind of talk about that first half a little bit when we get a chance here. Moen now is going to come out here. We've got an empty backfield. Moen drops back. Makai Anderson there to get the smoke screen and is able to get about 7 yards out of that. So just, kind of talk about what Mountain View did in that first half, Ryan.
Mountain View just ran the ball and threw the ball all over the place. I mean, they have so many offensive weapons that Ballard has had a real hard time stopping them defensively. I think Ballard has offensive weapons of their own, but they haven't been able to get anything going, and that's been the huge difference so far tonight.
Yeah, it sure has. Another pass there. Going for Makai once again. This time Makai's well covered, and Moen throws that ball a little high, but throws it in a safe area where nobody else can get it either. Webster playing safety comes over to help out Dejon Wells. Going to bring up third down. Jack Mertens now. They're going to give it to Mertens. Mertens going to get in behind that blocker. He's going to throw his man out there into the mix, and he's going to get across the 35-yard line and get some extras. I love the way he grabs his blocker's jersey and he just throws him into the block. So you're going to throw this block for me, and I'm going to make the cut. Good job there.
As we move the chains, I was able to grab a few local scores at halftime. Rainier beat 37 over Kelso 21. They're late in the fourth quarter. Hawkinson 55 over WF West 55-14. That's a running clock. That game should be ending soon. And then Skyview over Hazen 30-14. So those are your local scores that I was able to gather up during halftime.
Good deal. Thanks a lot, Ryan. Moen's going to keep that ball. Looks like he's going to get to the 30 before he's stopped. Looks like they'll stop him at the 31 there, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Isaiah Johnson lined up as the wing back. Mullins now sets up. He's got the big pitch out. Mertens is going to take this himself. He's going to take a taken down right there at about the 27-yard line. Nice open field tackle there. And that's going to be Jack Farley bringing him down in the open field. It's going to bring up 3rd down now, and they've got to get across the 25 down to the 23, I should say, for the 1st down.
And defensively, this is a big 3rd down for Ballard High School. You have to stop him here because if Mountain View is able to go ahead and get another touchdown, that starts to run the clock for the rest of the game.
It sure does.
And if you want to find a way to get back into this, running clock is not your friend.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that is going to give Mountain View the 1st down that they need. On the hard snap count there, Ballard jumps, and that kind of cutes your little, they got to take him on the 3rd down thing out of the water.
Yep. Yes, it does.
That will move the chains. 1st down and 10 from the 21. Mertens is going to give it to Mertens takes that one. He is going to run hard. He's going to get down across the 15 and get tackled on about the 13-yard line. See ultimately where the official has them set up. And it looks like they're going to bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 3. Here we go here. Game plan set up. Moen decides he's going to throw this one. Gets the ball out to Bolts. Bolts makes the first one miss. And are they going to give him the touchdown? The official, and yes, he does. Great run there and catch by Michael Bolts, who has been quiet all game long. And now we've got a new man with some points on the scoreboard as we start into this 2nd half of play. So once again, we kind of talked about, what's super exciting about Clark County right now is we got these 2 great football teams down here, one in the 4A, one in the 3A. And let's not leave out Hawkinson, also a Clark County school that's in the 2A, that's just got an immense amount of weapons and people just to get the ball to all over the field. It's going to be hard to deal with Clark County up there in that on that road to the Tacoma Dome.
It really is. And, I mean, there is a very good possibility, and I believe it's in all my heart, that Clark County can come back with 3 state titles this year.
Yes, it is definitely possible. Definitely possible. And with Hargrove out there, he is going to hang another one on them. So now the clock is officially a running clock as Mountain View puts 49 points on the scoreboard to Ballard 6. So here's the thing. Generally in situations like this, a team's got to come out throwing. That's who Ballard is. So, they just have to and the thing about it is now Mountain View knows they have to throw even when they don't necessarily want to throw. So it kind of kills that balanced offense. It kind of kills that let's run the ball so I can get a good throw because now the clock is no longer their friend. Right. And they are going to definitely need to try to put points on the board right now. I'm thinking maybe a lot of short routes, a lot of 3-step, let the ball go timing routes, a lot of quick slants would probably be the road to go here to just kind of keep that ball moving up the field.
Yeah, they're going to have to. And as a Washington State fan, I trusted Mike Leach.
Yes.
I
Right.
get to watch the air raid offense,
Yeah.
every weekend. And it's possible to continue to move the ball.
Yes.
Just they have to find the receiver. Blocker has to find his receivers.
Mm-hmm. He sure does. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and kick this one off. It's going to get fielded right there inside the 5. Hauser is going to make it up to the 20, bounces back outside. He's going to get across the 25 and down to about the 26-yard line before he goes down. So nice little run there by Hauser. Hauser, nice little run there. Hauser, not a big guy. We've got him listed on the roster as 5'8".
I don't know, Preston, but at least try to get the ball
There we come. Deshaun now. Wells is down here at the bottom of your screen. 2 receivers here. Crocker in the backfield. Slots on the far side as well. Blocker now once again holding on to that ball. Has the ball out there. He throws it down the field, down to the 40. Unable to bring that one in. Intended receiver was George Blue. We got a holding penalty against the Ballard Beavers, and I think another thing that we are kind of talking about is all the routes that they're running are, 5 and 7 step drop back routes. I mean, it's taken them a while to get into their routes because they're running deep patterns right now, and that's one of the problems they're running into with blocker trying to find somebody open is nobody's looking right now. They're still in their route, and he is, and he's been pressured already. That's why I was kind of talking about bringing up some of those 3-step and drop type things, some of that quick timing stuff to kind of get the ball moving.
Yeah, you're
Instead
right.
of, all 3 of those routes went vertical. I mean, that takes a while.
It certainly does, and with the athleticism of the Mountain View defense, with those deep routes, it's going to be rare to find a man open.
Yeah, it sure is.
You need to find quick routes that change in direction that can create some space.
So they got 5 wideouts here on this one. This time he's going to keep this one and go himself. Decides he's going to take this one himself. He is going to get some yards out of it. Looks like he's ultimately going to get to about the 17-yard line. Still going to bring up second down and a whole lot. They're going to need to get all the way back to the 38 for the first down.
Tell that they still have a pep in their step and they're still trying. So you got to give them credit for that because a lot of guys will just lay over and give up.
3rd and 21.
There, it drops back again.
Looking to set up a screen. Blocker getting pressure.
This time blocker is going to take off again. This time he goes down on one knee, and he is going to get about a yard out of this one. So doesn't officially go down as a sack, but once again, receiver still in routes when he is getting pressured to have to give that ball up. And you just have to make sure that the routes are being ran. You might need to, that 5-yard, and that 5, 6, 7 yard and cut probably needs to be dropped down to like 2, 3 yards and cut just so they're looking for the ball and he can let it go. This time they did get this ball off on a nice quick route. So it's everything that we kind of been talking about up till this point, he makes that pass and gets some decent yards out of it. They're just so far out of the box there that they weren't able to make anything out of it. That was a nice 7-yard gain, but it only brings up 4th down and 9. So they're going to have to kick this ball away.
Right, and if they go ahead and they change those routes up a little bit earlier, they change it from a 4th and 9 to maybe a 4th and 2.
Yeah, sure could have. Philip Earnhardt standing there around the 35-yard line, waiting for the kick. Short punt is going to drop and start bouncing. It is going to get picked up and then fumbled, but it's going to get picked up by Earnhardt. And they're ultimately going to lose some yardage on that play, and Mountain View's going to take the ball over on their 35. So not quite sure what happened there. Decided to pick it up late on a bounce, thinking he was going to catch him off guard. Almost did a dangerous thing and lost that ball.
Yeah.
So Mekhi Anderson and Michael Bowles now line up as the wide receiver and slot on this side. Mertens now is not in the game at this point. Alex Can back in the running back, and Isaiah Johnson lined up in the wing. They're going to give this one to Can. Can is going to get down to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. Can, a running back, junior, 5'8", 150 pounds. Trayshawn Foreman now comes into the game. Trayshawn, a senior.
see number 24 down on the sideline with a big old club on his hand right now down in front of us to the right.
Treshawn now plays the fullback. They're going to give him the ball, but he's going to bounce this one to the outside. He finds the corner, and he is just running up the field right now. He's going to get hit right there at about the 24-yard line, and before he goes out. Nice run there by the fullback. The play designed to go up the middle, and he bounces that to the outside right away to get big yards.
Yeah, that was a great decision by Foreman there to go ahead and bounce out to the
Here
outside.
they go.
As you see the replay, you see the middle was just completely clogged
And
up.
he
so
is going
bounces
right
out
up
to
the outside.
His day is over with the running clock on 49-6. Here's the snap, play action to Foreman in the hand and around the can. He fights his way right side.
It's going to get back out here. Can's going to be the one that takes that one. He's going to get a couple of yards out of it. Bring up second down and 8. Clock running, 2:40 left to play in the quarter. Adam will probably slow this game down, and they'll take as much of the 25-second field clock as they can before they take snaps. The official is calling a timeout.
By the way, this has pretty much been the story of the season for Jack Martins. He has not played in
And looks like we have some kind of equipment issue or something right now because Treshawn had to come out of the game. And this time they're going to give the ball to Isaiah. Isaiah Johnson has a nice little run. He's going to get down to about the 11-yard line. And we're going to have a holding call against Mountain View, so that's going to bring that nice little run back. There we go. And we're going to kind of steps in underneath that block. Good way to run. Nice way to have the vision to step into the open area and keep it pushing. But the hold will bring that back 10 yards. Didn't see exactly where the flag is, so we'll find out where they're going to count the 10 yards off from. Alec Can still in the game. Jack Merton still on the sideline. Okay, so it looks like the flag is right there on the 22. So they'll go 10 yards from there. So that'll bring up second down now, and it looks like, see ultimately where they're going to stop that? Yeah, looks like second and 15.
You know, just thinking, Jack Mertens is out, and he's been pulled out of the game, out of a lot of games, and we're going to continue on for this play here.
Time to play action. Moen now is going to get flushed out of the pocket, and he is going to take a big hit there from Ian Crocker, and they're going to lose even more yards on that play and bring up third down and a whole lot to go. Tell you what, Crocker came out of that. Ian Crocker came out of nowhere and kind of cleaned up that package.
Yeah, he certainly did.
And that big play right there is going to end this third quarter here. Mountain View on top, 49-6 over the Ballard Beavers. This is Rod Lawrence and Ryan Vassbinder, EPS Sports. We'll be right back to start the fourth quarter.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won.
What's your reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
Tadpoles, frogs, this is their world.
Nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
All right. Hey, we want to welcome you guys back here to McKenzie Stadium. Fourth quarter. Mountain View on top by a lot, 49-6 over the Ballard Beavers. Down here in Vancouver, Washington, GSHL, Mountain View, the GSHL 3A champions. They have pretty much got home field advantage all the way to till it's time to play some games in the Dome. And right now they are showing everybody why they are one of the top 5 teams in the state. Another double handoff. This time Isaiah Johnson's going to end up with the ball. He's going to get across the 30 and is going to go down at about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, so what I was saying before we went to the break into quarters, before this game started, Jack Martins has almost 1,200 yards rushing.
Yes.
If you think about it, these games have been won by 40, 50 points. He hasn't played all 4 quarters in any of these games.
No, he hasn't.
I mean, imagine the type of yardage he would have if he was on a team where he needed to play all four quarters.
Yeah.
You'd have a 2,000-yard season.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, and I am sure that I wouldn't put it past not seeing him for the rest of the evening. Moen now drops back, has it set up for a screen, and there it goes to Alex Can. Can, nice hard run. We got a flag on the play here, laying down on the numbers on the 20-yard line. But Can took a pounding on that tackle. He's trying to run people over.
Certainly did.
They're going to wave the flag, so the yardage given, they're going to be the yardage gotten. And now we just had a turnover on downs on that play. Good defensive stance there by the Ballard Beavers. Blocker now back on the field. Hauser now moves into running back, and Webster moves out to the slot. Webster goes into motion, and they're going to give this one to Hauser. Hauser's going to break in down across the 30-yard line before he is stopped. Nice little run. Looks like Mountain View has pulled some of their starters out of the game for the most part. That run will get a first down. Hauser now goes out to slot. This time Ian Crocker is lined up as the running back. Hauser goes into motion, drops back for a screen. Blocker nowhere to go once he catches that. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Mountain View all over that screen play that time. Big tackle there by Andrew Gulliford.
That was a dangerous little screen pass. There was a lot of traffic there.
Yeah, it sure was. Drop back now. This time the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Blocker is going to make it across the 25 down to about the 26. I'm sorry, the 35 down to the 36. That's going to bring up a third down and 6, it looks like. Blocker now takes the snap. Going to give this to Hauser again. Hauser is going to get a nice little run. He will get enough for the first down. Trayshawn Foreman comes into the game.
So good enough for a first down out to the 42. First and 10. Their own 42 for Ballard with 7 minutes and 40 seconds on this running clock left in the game. 49-6 as Mountain View is up 42-6 at half. They scored quickly.
Trayshawn now does line up as a defensive tackle.
Things have gone by real fast with this running clock.
Hauser's going to get this ball again. Trayshawn's going to get away from that first tackler and get about a couple of yards before he goes down. Andrew Gulliford there to make the initial contact.
You know, with Hauser as small as he is,
Yeah.
he sure has a lot of heart in a little package. I mean, he keeps his legs moving, and he's listed at 5'7", 145, and he's gaining 5-6 yards a carry.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. Man in motion. Blocker drops back. Has a man open. That's going to be Deshaun Wells, who just refuses to go down. But in all that extra effort, he's actually going to lose a couple of yards. We got a flag that goes down late here. Deshaun actually had the first down initially, but with the extra stuff he was doing there, it looks like he may have lost a couple of yards and might come up just short. And then depending on what this flag is going to be that came in late. It is going to be a foul against Mountain View, so that will move the ball into deeper into Mountain View territory and a first down. And here's the replay. Great effort there by Deshaun, and it looks like it's the face mask. And Foreman is going to be called for it.
You know, I understand that Mountain View are playing their second string guys.
Mhm.
But we're starting to see some good things from Ballard, and I wish they would have just come out with that from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, they're running the football, they're throwing short, passing routes, and they're able to move the chains.
Yeah. Hauser, the intended receiver, running an out route. Blocker unable to get that one to him. That will bring up second down and 10. 5:15 left to play in the game. Three receivers. Blocker throws to the short side to Deshaun Wells again. Wells gets a catch and a nice little run after the catch. He's going to get down to, looks like the 25-yard line. Bring up third down and short. Hey, that's a nice little shot of our student camera operators. Definitely want to thank these guys for giving up their Friday night to come out here and take some great shots of the games here all year long, not just tonight, but they've done a great job all year long. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you.
Tomorrow is a huge day in college football. Yes. And I'm going to get your thoughts on that right after.
All right, so Hauser now is single in the backfield, three receivers. They're going to give this one to Hauser again. Hauser trying to find the edge, and he's not going to find it that time. He's going to get just back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like, and this is going to bring up a fourth down. Definitely four-down territory and opportunity. There's our guy down there on the end zone camera bringing us some great shots. Appreciate you, guy. This time, Ian Crocker going to get rolled out. This time he's going to roll back the other way. Nowhere to go. This time he does get the ball away, but it almost gets picked off by Paul Earnhardt, who probably would have scored 6 on that one. That looked like that would have been a pick 6.
It really did. And, I don't know if you call Ryan Blocker lucky in that situation because it's fourth down. I mean, he can't throw the ball away. I mean, we talked all night about how he needs to throw the ball away. This situation, he can't. He has nowhere to go. I mean, ultimately, it's just a turnover on downs.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Well, Jack Mertens did go out on the field, but then they brought him back off. and Alec Can goes back in to replace him. Andrew Gulliford now out there running the wing back, and here comes Trayshawn Foreman, comes in as the fullback.
And you almost wonder, Jack Mertens is a kid that wants to play. And you almost wonder if he was trying to sneak himself out on the field for another set of downs.
Get another run at it before it's all said and done. Mountain View stops the clock with the timeout here at 2:38. They had some issues making sure they had everybody on the field who was supposed to be there. So Coach Matheson calls the timeout other than to take the penalty. You know, one thing I can say about Coach Adam Matheson is he always brings a well-disciplined and well-coached football team to the field year after year after year. And that's definitely something for all the people who are alumni and fans of Mountain View to be proud of. That is a great coaching situation that he has out there, and these kids love to play for him.
Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about yet tonight. I mean, everybody knows their role, they know their assignment, and everybody is extremely disciplined in where they need to be.
They sure are. Jack Mertens did get back out on the field, and he is going to go ahead and take as much as he wants and then run it out of bounds. Give him credit. That is another 20-plus yard run there for Jack. There's the replay. Give me the ball one more time, Coach.
And it must have been a message from the coach that said, all right, we'll put you out there, but if you get hurt, you're dead.
Yeah, right.
You better not get hit.
Yeah, exactly. We need you. It's like with that play right there, they will go into the victory. There won't be any more plays run to try to make yardage, I should say. Field clock now down to 2 seconds, and they'll snap it. Looks like they can probably do this 2 more times. And be able to get away with it. Field clock now has just started. So, you know, let's kind of talk about this. They're, you know, they beat them this bad. The difference is they legitimately, the score ended up what the score should have been. You know, unlike that first game where EM Claw, you know, kind of kept their starters in against the number 2s to kind of run that score, to kind of get the score a little closer. That is not the case here, so the seeding conversation is most definitely going to be the fact that Mountain View came in here and put it to Ballard. You know, came out here and really handled the squad. You know, didn't show any weaknesses anywhere. Just came out here and played some solid football and beat a team that, you know, Ballard's a good team. They made it to the playoffs. They came in with a very good record. They've got some good guys on the field. Mountain View is just, this is their year. They're ranked in the top 5 in the state. And Ballard had to come out here and play their best football if they wanted to beat them. And unfortunately, Mountain View came out here and played close to perfect football themselves, which essentially, you know, for all intents and purposes, makes them unbeatable.
Yeah, and it's very true. I mean, this is a Mountain View team who almost beat Union, who's number 1 in the state of the 4A division. They came out tonight and they really played perfect football. I mean, you talk about different echelons of teams, right? You have your good teams, your great teams, and then your elite teams. And you know, Mountain View's pretty close to being an elite team.
Yeah, they sure are. And with that being said, that will run the score out. Mountain View official now, 49-6 over the Ballard Beavers. Great show tonight, great game tonight. The Mountain View's offense, the Mountain View's defense, the Mountain View special teams. We're going to have to definitely give a shout out there to Isaiah Johnson, who probably the game of his life tonight. You know, an opportunity to get out there and start in split time there with Phil Earnhardt and just played some great football. So great job and kudos to that young man. Hey, we want to thank everybody here for joining us tonight. This is our last official broadcast for football from EPS. So it's been a great season. Definitely want to send thanks out to the staff and crew of the Evergreen School District. Matt Griffin, thanks a lot, guy. It's been a great year with you, and we want to definitely give props to to all the student camera operators who give up all their times on Friday nights to come out here and give us some great football. So thank you so very much, Rod Lawrence, Brian Bassbinder, and we are out.